And we're back from smoking. We beered up.
Hooray for beer.
And I gained a hat somehow.
Same.
All right. While we were outside smoking, while Ian was outside smoking and I was standing out there with my vape in my hand because I'm a fucking loser, I thought of our next topic. Resident Evil 2. The new one. What are your hopes and what are your impressions? By the way, disclaimer. Today is currently January 20th and it is 3:14 in the morning. I don't know when this video is going live, so the game might already be out, but Ian, what are your impressions?
Based on what I've seen so far.
Based on what you've seen so far. Let's hear it.
I'm not disappointed in what they've done. I have not played the 30-minute one-shot demo because apparently when I started up my PlayStation decides it's a 747 on the way to the runway wanting to take off. And I'm afraid that if I try to play it, it's going to fly across the room, hit me in the face, and that's going to be the demo.
He's not lying, because, like, I was standing at the fucking door, and his PlayStation was on the other side of the room. And I was just like, you're clear for takeoff.
Yeah. Flight 666.
Yeah, Flight 666, you're clear for takeoff.
Shout out to Iron Maiden, by the way.
No, the only ones we're shouting out are our boys in Offended by Everything. Make sure you pick up their debut album.
Even Offended by Everything will shout out Iron Maiden.
You're right.
All right, then. No, I just hope they don't take the easy way out and basically fondle the testicles of all the crybaby fans who have declared from day one since 4 came out that it has to go this way. It has to be like this.
Shut your piece of shit jalopy up.
I don't understand what everybody's love for Resident Evil 4 was. It looked fantastic. The controls on the PS4 version, at least, are shit. I've played the PlayStation 2 version. I played the GameCube version. The controls are definitely better on the originals. The remasters controls suck. But, I mean, it's not that it's a bad game. It's just not like the end-all, be-all that everybody says it is. You know, that's like telling me that you prefer, you know, Super Mario 2 over Super Mario World. We all know you're lying. Hit the reset button. Try again later.
We're going to unplug you. Wait 10 seconds, unplug you back in, and hope it resets.
Pretty much. You're living in a fantasy world if you think 4 was the greatest Resident Evil game of the franchise, because it's not.
So what would you say is the best?
1, 2, and 3.
Okay.
I mean, even the remake of 1 was fantastic. 0 wasn't. I wouldn't say 0's horrible. I'm not going to say it's the best thing ever in terms of what they did with it, because it's basically the exact same game as 1, 2, and 3. You just don't have to worry about running around looking for an item box, which apparently is a giant abyss to a different dimension. You know, I'm going to drop the rocket launcher on the first floor of the mansion, but I'm going to pick it up on the second floor of the sub-basement. I mean, I get it, you know. It's video game logic. What do you want me to say? As long as they don't stray too far from the path, they can make it over the shoulder like they did with 4, 5, and 6. They can make it first person like they did with 7, which I know they didn't. They can make it the shitty tank controls from 1, 2, and 3. As long as it still feels like Resident Evil 2, I'm not going to be disappointed.
So you have high hopes for it?
I really don't have any hopes for it. I know it's not going to suck. I'm not saying it's going to be the greatest game on the planet, but I know it's not going to be terrible. You know, it's not waiting 10 years for Duke Nukem.
You're wrong.
You know, I waited long enough for Resident Evil 7, which, if it wasn't as short as it was, it'd probably be pretty damn good.
How do you think I feel waiting for Final Fantasy 15?
And what do I keep telling you?
It's Square Enix.
Wait a little longer. Eventually you'll get it. Oh, wait, we're talking about Final Fantasy and not about pussy.
That's an edit.
I had to, man. It was too easy.
Dumbass sentences for two bored nerds, brought to you by beer.
Hooray for beer.
I'm really glad you're here.
Let's make this moment last.
Okay, so staying on the topic of video games. This is one I've wanted to bring up to you since I brought up the video idea to you.
Okay. We're going Zelda, aren't we?
I'm going to stop right here, right now. Zelda. And if you have not watched, fuck you. If you have not watched the episode of The Great Debate where I made the very bold statement that A Link to the Past is the best Legend of Zelda game, and fuck Ocarina and fuck Majora's, click away from this video right now and come back in a few minutes after you watch that. Actually, it's like 23 minutes or something like that. But you're right. We're going to Zelda. What is, in your opinion, the best Legend of Zelda game?
Do you want me to be unbiased here? Or do you want me to go with personal opinion?
I want you to be both. Unbiased first.
Both ways for me lean towards Ocarina of Time. Strictly because it was the first one I got into severely. I finished it start to finish. I didn't play anything else. I went start to finish. I loved it. I'm not going to say it's the greatest video game of all time. Because that is a very, what's the word I'm looking for here? That is a very hard question to answer because, I mean, there are people on the planet who like Animal Crossing.
Most of them are children or, never mind. I don't want to make another cut. I'm not going to.
Yeah, we'll keep our opinions to ourselves. Remember, people went nuts over Dead or Alive volleyball. You know.
That was off frame. I don't have to cut it out. That's it. I'm getting the fucking sword.
That's getting cut.
Yeah, you fucking think?
I try not to.
Hey, fries are done. Oi!
Is pizza on the way? Did she really just text you, oi? What were we talking about?
I texted the fiance and asked her to message me before she got home, and I got oi.
Okay, that works. Oh, it's Zelda.
Yeah, we were talking about Zelda. Because I asked you what your favorite one was.
Ocarina was the first one I played start to finish. Not for lack of trying, because quite frankly, when it comes to video games, I'm pretty much a bitch and I suck. So it took me up until about a year ago to beat the very first one.
I still have honestly not beaten it.
I can get to the 8th dungeon, no problem. After that, it's like, oh my God, are you kidding me? The first one is the first one. I mean, you cannot duplicate the original. Have straight teriyaki sauce. I'm regretting some life choices at this particular moment.
Oh, you mean like me 10 seconds after
with the barbecue sauce?
Barbecue sauce shot?
Yeah, drink another beer and shut the fuck up, bitch boy. Move your elbow.
You told me to move it, not move it away from you. Okay, so that's your personal opinion. Unbiased.
Unbiased opinion? I would honestly go with Ocarina. Strictly on depth of story. Not necessarily gameplay, but depth of story. Ocarina definitely made more sense in the long run. Now, I know exactly what you're going to say. You're going to say Legend of Zelda 2, blah, 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 because that is like your... It's almost like it's your gateway drug to gaming, man. You know? It's like, here, you can have this for free, but the next one's going to cost you $20. Or in our case, $59.99, and that's if you don't go to GameStop.
Hey, I already read that message. Thank you. Fucking iPhones.
Well, the fact of the matter is this. Zelda 2 would probably have been a better game had they waited 20 years until the technology caught up with the vision.
And I fully agree with that. I think if that game came out now...
Oh, it'd be a blockbuster.
It'd probably be one of the highest selling fucking Legend of Zelda games.
I mean, it'd be like Legend of Zelda, Fallout, Elder Scrolls.
Fuck Elder Scrolls.
You know what I'm saying, though. I mean,
I wish that copy was still sitting right here. I would totally bring it into frame and throw it off.
You know, I mean, we've got, 12 million RPG fans claiming that, oh, this is the greatest game ever. But then again, these are the same people that are paying $250 for Earthbound on the Super Nintendo.
You can go buy an SNES Classic and get it for, $90.
Yeah. And even then, I wouldn't play it. I don't know, I might.
I gave it a fair shot.
I might play it on principle.
I gave it a very fair shot.
I don't see why it's the one game where everybody goes goo-goo over the price is so damn exorbitant.
It's like fucking Donkey Kong Country. That game wasn't that great, but the cheapest you can buy an actual copy of it is
like $60.
It's around $100.
Where'd you find it for 100 at? Because I found it for $60 at a pawn shop.
Oh, fuck, where's that pawn shop?
Wichita.
I need to heat it up. Heat it up? I need to heat it up. The oven is on. I can go heat it up right now.
Not until the pizza gets here. By the way, in case he didn't tell you, it's 3:25 in the morning. We're waiting on pizza delivery.
Literally called my fiance after he brought a pizza, and I was like, "We've been drinking. Will you bring us pizza?"
We need some za.
And she was like, "Fine."
So if she bursts in the door and starts rambling incoherently, it's either we're drunk and you're hearing how it sounds to us, or she's just not making any sense at all.
She never makes any sense. She wants to marry me. I mean, I totally match my drink right now.
Yeah, you're as blue as that. No, my problem with certain video games being overpriced, and I know this is completely off topic of what you gave me, but 15 years ago, I walked into a garage sale and I got a Super Nintendo and 26 games for $10. One of them being one of my all-time favorite games of all time, which is Super Castlevania 4. I know you don't like it, but I got my first Super Nintendo. It came with Super Castlevania 4.
Same reason. That's one of the same reasons that Kirby Superstar is one of my favorite games.
Yeah, but Kirby's so, that's one of those underrated franchises. Yeah, everybody claims they love it, but you can pick it up for $5. If you love it so much, why is it not $300? Why is it I'm walking into a vintage stock, which in case you don't know, if you're not from this part of the country, vintage stock is a used video game, movie, books type place. And down in Texas, they're called movie trading posts. It's nerd paradise. It legit is nerdvana, for lack of a better term. If they ain't got it, you don't need it. If they ain't got it, you don't want it. I've seen a copy of Kirby for the GameCube go for $10 in there, but I've seen a copy of Super Castlevania 4 for the Super Nintendo, which is pushing 30 years old, if not 25 minimum. 90? Fuck, I was 8th grade. Carry the 73.
He's going to show you his age real quick.
I'm damn near 40. Okay, I'll be 40 in a few months.
Day before I turned 28. I thought we were.
Well, we can. Maybe we should touch dicks too.
I just told you I didn't want to make any more cuts. Son of a bitch.
But the first cut is the deepest. No, see.
This is why I didn't want to bring him into the channel.
In reality,
he made the fucker.
The whole fucking thing was damn near my idea, other than him saying, hey, let's make a YouTube video together. I don't know how many videos he's made without me in it. I'm here. He's queer. Get over it.
We're all a little queer. It means weird.
You're not wrong. Just like a fag is a British cigarette. I mean, if we're going to wax intellectual about it, let's go the full 9. I've seen copies of certain video games cost anywhere between $60 and $300.
The answer's 7, by the way.
Okay. There is no reason why a game like Super Castlevania 4 for the Super Nintendo is costing me anywhere between $60 and $100, depending on where I buy it. I go on eBay, it's $100. I go on Amazon, it's about $140, and that's it with the box of the manual. I walk into a vintage stock, it's $49.99 with a sticker on the front of it that screws up the label, which means the value is not the $49.99 you paid for it. It's like $3.75. I picked it up at a garage sale for $10 with 20-something other games and a fully functioning Super Nintendo.
Probably the gayest thing I've done on YouTube.
My oldest child will never know what that game would cost because, hey, he can walk into a Walmart or a Target or, God forbid, a GameStop and pick up a Super Nintendo Classic for less than $100 and bam, Super Castlevania 4 right there. Now, bear in mind, this game is 20-something years old and I've still never beaten it because it frustrates the hell out of me. I can get from the start all the way to Dracula and then I turn into a fucking 5-year-old. I just start button mashing and hoping to God I kill the damn vampire.
I mean, like me on Smash.
That's Smash Brothers, though. The entire object of the game is the button mash. It's like me playing Mortal Kombat. Who gives a fuck how to do Scorpion Spear? I just hit 17 buttons until it happens. Like, get over here! Oh, I did it once. Fatality. I'm also one of those kids that played Mortal Kombat before it ever got popular in the arcades, and nobody believed me when I said there was a game where you could kill people in it. 9 months later, it shows up, and all of a sudden, I'm the liar. Beauties of living on the West Coast as a child.
I wouldn't know. I grew up in...
Yeah, you were in Kentucky.